Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Bishop. It's the Tier 5 British SPG. It's located on the south spawn of Mines and it's under the command of ProvoBob. Okay, well, he's started his engine. This Arty is based on the hull of a Valentine tank. It's a 4.5 inch gun and, well, it's capable of 410 alpha if I'm correct. And battle's about to start. Game started. Actually, it's 450 alpha, not 410. And it penetrates up to 28mm. Now, this Arty does have a rather short range. And it's also very slow because it's walking pace, the pace of the Valentine tank. And that means you have to get fairly close to the enemy. But the single advantage it does have is it's very accurate. And it means you can land shells on enemy tanks, specifically on their engine decks. And it's got a fairly quick reload as well. He fires a snapshot at the AMX and takes him out with one shot. 320 hit points. That was probably a penetrating round. Now you can see the maximum range does not extend as far as Nigel's spot, that spot in C1. But, yep, he can shoot just the other side of the hill. And there's a 14 TP in there. This is a tier 5 game. He's top tier. Nope, that one didn't go in. You can aim in very tightly, so let the reticule settle on the target. Okay, he's loaded. Got an M8A1, a Churchill. There's a 14 TP in there somewhere, but we can't see him at the moment. Aiming ahead of the M8A1, but he stops for a second, so our shell misses. He can just about make a shot over onto the island. There was an M4 over there. He's guessing where he is. Oh, there's the Churchill. Just outside range, but he fires around. Nope, not going to hit the target. Right, there's a bunch of tanks grouping in that corner because we've got a KD-1 just around there. Just around the corner, they're shooting at him. So we're going to fire on that 14 TP. Direct hit wipes him out. 360 hit points. That was a penetrating round. And so he's got his second kill. And he fired a quick snapshot in there. Nope, no joy. Oh, we've lost a few tanks on the west flank. Still that Churchill on an M4. He's fired around at the bushes. Blind shot. Nobody there. He's looking for any sign that they might be there. You might be able to spot Tracer. In fact, he's also indicating that some of the members of the team should actually go over to spot on the South Island. Now we're going for a B1. Rounds out. Looks good. Just behind him. He's low on hit points as well, that B1, so he's taken a bit of damage already. And we can see the M8A1 now. But only for a brief moment. He's just sitting there, rounds out. Oh, he pulls forward just as our shell leaves. Can he get another shot? Trying it for it. He's staying still, which is rather sweet of him. Rounds out. Oh, and he pulls forward just before our shell arrives. So we missed him again. So we're going to go for the Churchill 3, or we're going to hit that M8A1. Well, firing at the M8A1. Nope, not that time. There's the 14 TP again. If he stays relatively still, we should be able to get him. Just judge where he's pulling back. Oh, and he's got another kill. And it was another penetrating round for 360 hit points. Now, that Churchill's looking very tempting. Almost like a juicy pinata. Rounds out. Looks good. But it lands just behind him. Can we get a round on? When you've got a heart reticule like that, it means that there's an obstruction in the way. And there is a tower just there. But he did get a hit on the Churchill's rear. 122 hit points. And the M4's been spotted over on the middle island. And he's just dialing in. Low enough hit points he could kill him. Rounds out. He's hiding there. And now he's dead. That's good. But the Churchill is still there on that island. He's fired around him where he thinks he is. Doesn't get any hits. Now you don't get a huge amount of ammunition with the Bishop, but you get enough to do the job. He's down to 16 rounds now, going for that M8A1. Work out where he's headed, fire the round there, and it's a bit late. There's the B1 again. He's using the buildings to move up bit by bit from cover to cover. Switching back to the M8A1. If he stays still just for a moment, he can get around into him. Oh, he got a blind kill there. He lost sight of the M8A1, but he actually worked out where he was headed, fired at the position where he thought he would be, and he was there. Unfortunately, that round hit the wall, but over on the island, we've got an S-35CA. That's the bathtub. It's a French tank destroyer based on the Samur S-35. Nope, that one didn't hit target. The Churchill one's out of range. He can hit the Churchill 3 if he stays still long enough or works out where he's going and leads the target enough. Right, well that P-26, he's hiding behind that wall for the moment because there's somebody firing on him, and I think that might be our M8A1 or our M10, but look at that beautiful shot. Just got him on the corner of his front of his vehicle as he popped out to shoot. He's down to 15 hit points. One more shot should finish him off. Oh, it hits the castle wall. I think it's a castle tower, isn't it, that one? A guard tower. Now that P-26, he's staying in big cover, but it didn't help him because the M10 managed to shoot around the corner. And here comes that 14 TP. Now, he stays still long enough to shoot him. Yep, and that's another kill. That's the Top Gun now. 6 kills. Can we get any more? There's still 5 enemies out there. Oh, and he's actually killed all the light tanks in the battle, so he's now got a Naydin's medal as well. And they are fairly rare because it's difficult to kill all the light tanks in a game. Okay, he's only got 7 rounds of ammo now, so he needs to conserve his ammo and only hit what he can definitely get. Because if he tries too much shooting, he could run out of ammo, and then all he can do is cap. And the thing is with the Bishop, it's very, very slow. You can't really do any ram damage. I've tried. I have tried. It's not really working. All you do is you push up against the enemy tank and you shove them backwards. That's all that happens. And funnily enough, I did do that once to an AMX-40, the duck tank, and he kept firing at me. But because he kept firing at the center mass of the tank, he kept hitting the hard points, and of course his shells just didn't penetrate, and that was very amusing. So I just held him in position until my teammates turned up, and then they killed him by shooting him in the side. Okay, well, we're now getting into a position and close enough to take out the Churchill 1. There's only 3 enemy tanks remaining: the bathtub, the Churchill 1, and the Fifi, the 105 FH-18B2, otherwise known as a Leffy to most tank players. And that wreck is moving, so somebody is pushing it. Rounds out, and it was a direct hit, and I think that must be the Churchill. Yeah, he's pushing that wreck around. Now, we don't have any zombies in the game, so if a wreck moves, there's a tank behind it, and he's just killed him with a blind shot kill. Why that Churchill had to give away his position by shoving the wreck about, that was a very silly move. There's only 2 enemies remaining now, but unfortunately ProvoBob's only got 5 rounds left. That should be enough to kill both of them. If he can get around directly into the cockpit of the bathtub, the S-35, he should be able to wipe it out with just 1 shot. Trouble is, he doesn't know where the Fifi is. The Fifi could be anywhere. He could be in the corner at A1, and if he is, that will probably help a great deal. Well, unfortunately, the bathtub just killed our looks. So it's now 2 against 1, or 4 against 2, you should say. We can't see the bathtub at the moment. We know where he was last seen. It was just around about there. He's dialed in on that position. He's fired a speculative round, but he's now only got 4 rounds left for 2 tanks. He probably needs to keep hold of his ammo, not to fire unless he can see something. Yeah, that's another wasted one. He's only got 3 rounds left now. He's going to be very reliant on his teammates to kill the enemy if he runs out of ammo. And if they're incapable of doing that, and I've been in battles where you've got teammates who are just not capable of shooting straight, and they then all get killed. And if you run out of ammo, yep, unfortunately, you lose the game. So we're trying to work out where the enemy Arty is. We can't see any tracer at the moment. Not yet. I suspect he's actually in A1. We haven't felt his shells at all during the game. But we do know he has 3 kills, so he's been very active, and the bathtub's got 5 kills. Valentine's not spotting. This is what I'm saying about keeping your shells in if necessary, because your teammates may be too timid to go out and spot and find the enemy, and you might need to take the initiative. Okay, well, ProvoBob's going to do just that. He's going to move and get closer to the cap. See if he can find the Arty or the bathtub. Now, funnily enough, in the game, the Bishop is tier 5, but it was actually the Bishop that was replaced by the Sexton II during World War II, and the Sexton II, as you know, is tier 3, so Wargaming got them the wrong way round. It should be that the Bishop is tier 3 and the Sexton II should be tier 5, but there you go. Not sure the reasoning behind that, but why they got them the other way round. Now this looks a fairly good position. He's fairly well concealed from that S35. He's just about at maximum fire range, and that's probably about maximum view range as well. In fact, slightly more than maximum view range for the S35. But unfortunately, he's still reliant on that Valentine to spot for him. And so he's going to have to get closer to the cap. They've only got 2 minutes 37 seconds left, so if they don't start capping soon, they won't be able to, and they'll end up as a draw. Now, he hasn't really got the ammo to spare to take speculative shots anymore. If he did, I think that probably would spell a draw for the team. The Valentine's just refusing to go around the corner. Or is he? No, he might be. No, he's not. He's just not doing it. He doesn't want to do it. So this is going to end up a draw. There's no chance. That's the 2-minute warning. And unless at this moment, well, there you go. Unfortunately, ProvoBob's fired a round and he's now only got 2 rounds left. The bathtub wasn't in that bush. And he's fired another round in. There's 2 enemies and he's only got 1 shell now. So he really hasn't got enough even to kill the Fifi. But he might be able to kill the bathtub if he could find him. But it would be a bit wrong of him to fire this last round, because if he did, and he suddenly came across the enemy face to face, he'd have no means of defending himself whatsoever. Now, normally I would have said, go to the cap, sit in the cap, force the enemy to move, and that might encourage the Valentine 2 and the MOT1 to move, but they're just sitting there, they're camping, they don't want to come around out of their corners, and this is most definitely going to end up as a draw. Oh, and the MOT1's just been killed by the bathtub. So the bathtub's probably moved even further south. And oh, I hope ProvoBob's not going to fire that last round. He needs it. Oh, he did. Now he's defenseless now. No ammo left. If he presses the C key now, it will say ammunition is empty. And that tells his teammate that he's got nothing left to fire. 15 seconds to go. This is definitely going to be a draw. Can't see the Valentine coming out from behind his rock. And the clock's run out. Yep, it's a draw. Well, that's very sad, but at least ProvoBob did try to do a good game out of it, and unfortunately his teammates just weren't up to the job. And yeah, ProvoBob managed to get an ace tanker out of that game. In fact, actually he got a very high win rate from that one. A Brutus medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 18 in that game. A Naydin's medal because he managed to kill all the enemy light tanks during that game. A Top Gun because he got at least 6 kills. In fact, actually he ended up with 7. And because if he'd got one more kill, he would have ended up with a Radley Waters as well. And he got the high caliber because he dealt the most damage in that game overall. So let's have a look at team score. There you go, top of the table, 2,161 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer was in fact the enemy Fifi with 1,498, and then came the Bathtub with 1,246, and the M10 on our team managed to get 1,200. When it came to kills though, it was ProvoBob with 7 kills, the S35 managed to get 6, and then we've got the M10 with 4. And when it came to base XP, well, I'm afraid it's the Churchill 3 who gets the honours there. He got 602 base experience points. The S35, oh no, actually it's ProvoBob who managed to get 589 there on that battle. And then we've got the Bathtub with 500 base experience points. He fired 32 rounds in that game. He got 10 direct hits and 4 penetrations, 8 splash. Damage of 2,161 hit points, of which 1,904 were up more than 300 meters. He damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 7. And on a premium count, he earned 22,839 credits. And because he got an epic medal, in fact, he got several epic medals in that game, the Naydins, the Top Gun, and the High Caliber, he ends up with the Achievements Award. That's for getting an epic medal in a losing game, and that's 3,300 credits, and total came to 39,209. And after ammunition resupply, the ammo's very cheap for this gun. He actually picked up 31,209 credits altogether, and he received 589 XP, 363 for the Achievements Award again, 1,428 experience points altogether. Now, I think actually the better solution to this game, and I think we can all come up with ideas that might have worked, but my instinct is that if he'd kept hold of most of his ammunition, he could have gone into the cap circle and forced the Bathtub and the Fifi to come towards the cap, acted as bait, and that would have forced them out to the open, and then the M8A1 and the Valentine could have plugged them full of holes before they killed ProvoBob. I do know that the Bishop is actually very effective against heavy tanks, even at close range, shotgunning them. So if that Fifi had decided to come around the corner, he probably would have received a shell right in his face, and that probably would have ended his game as well. So yeah, maybe it was a missed opportunity. If he'd gone into the cap, I'm pretty sure that he could have done something from and forced the enemy out, but no, it was only a draw. So if you enjoyed that video, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. We get great replays all the time, and we really like it if you come back to our channel. Thanks for watching.